Hello students, this is Akshita, your educator, and I welcome you all on the platform of Global Online. So for the CTET December 2023 preparation, Global Online application has come up with a complete course where we'll be discussing the whole syllabus of the paper 1. In today's lecture, session number 1, we'll be talking about the topic from mathematics paper 1 as well as paper 2, that is number system. So here I'll be sharing you the concept based from the number system as well as the MCQs that can be directly asked in your examination. So friends, this is the session number 1 for the number system. Without any further ado, let's begin up with the lecture. Before that students, if you are targeting for the December 2023 CTET examination, paper 1 and paper 2, for that Global Online application has come up with a complete course where you will be provided with the following features: full syllabus video lectures. In this video lectures, the educator will be sharing you certain tips and tricks from your different topics, as well as all the concepts will be cleared from this video lectures. Full syllabus notes which are available in the form of PDF can be easily downloaded through the mobile phone. 50 plus mock test via which you can test your preparation. Full syllabus MCQ PDF, again very important and exam relevant MCQs will be provided to you here. All the above features will be provided to you in the course fees of just 3000 rupees. This fees is including the paper 1 as well as paper 2. This is for the both the papers. Okay, so if you are targeting both the papers, you can get enrolled to the compiled course of paper 1 and paper 2 in the course fees of just 3000 rupees. And if you are targeting for an individual paper like for paper 1 or for paper 2, then the course fees for the individual paper will be rupees 2000. 2000 for paper 1 and 2000 for paper 2. So yes, for joining this particular course, either for paper 1, paper 2, or for paper 1 and paper 2 compiled course, you can contact us on this given WhatsApp number for further details. So let's begin with the topic. So whenever we talk about the number systems, you must have knowledge about the numbers. Okay, so we'll be talking, this is the introductory class of the number system. First I would like to tell you that, okay, I'll be discussing the basics of numbers. Okay, so in maths, numbers are important, we know that. Okay, so whenever we talk about the number topic, number is one of the important topics for any competitive exam, especially whenever we are talking about the CTET examination. Okay, in this chapter we have put together a number of models of problems, mainly based upon the various problems that can be asked directly in your examination. Okay, so whenever we talk about numbers, there are four basic operations. Once again, I would like to tell you that this class is again introductory class where I'll be talking about the numbers, okay, and the various rules and the signs, basic arithmetic operations, classification of the numbers. I'll be talking about this basic stuff. Okay, so whenever we are talking about the four basic operations, there are four basic operations, that is addition. The first one is addition. The second one is subtraction. The third one is multiplication. Everyone knows about this, but still I'm telling you. Okay, and the fourth one is division. These are the basic operations. Okay, very basic operation. Excluding these four basic operations, there are again some operations like involution, evolution of the numbers. Okay, so this is not much important. As per our exam point of view, these four operations are important. Okay, these are the four basic operations. We know about the addition operation. For example, we have two numbers, that is a and b. So in case of addition operation, what we do is a plus b, right? In case of subtraction operation, what is the thing? If we have two numbers a and b, and if a is greater than b, so what we do over here is a minus b is the subtraction operation. In case of multiplication, basically we are multiplying these two numbers, and in case of division, we are dividing the bigger number by smaller number. This is the operation in case of division. Okay, we know about this. Okay, so whenever we are doing these operations, there are some of the important rules of sign that every student must know. Okay, so we'll talk about the rule of sign. The rule of sign, what does it mean? The product of any two terms with like sign is positive, and the product of two unlike terms is negative. What I am talking about, look here now. So if I am telling you that product of -1 into -1 will give you +1. The product of +1 into +1 will give you +1 only, right? So if I am not writing here anything, it means the sign over here is positive. We are talking about the product sign. Please remember this. And excluding this, if I am talking -1 into +1, okay, these are the two unlike signs. This will give me -1. Product of 1 into -1 will again give me -1 only. Okay, these are the important rule of sign where we say that, please note it down, the product of two terms with same sign or like sign, we can say same sign, is positive, is always positive. Okay, that is first and the second rule. Here in case of first and the second, the product of the two terms are positive. Why? Because here we are using minus minus plus plus, that is like sign or same sign. Okay, but in case of the third and the fourth rule, we are using different signs. That is, here we are using minus and here it is plus, here it is plus, and this is minus. So the product of two terms with different sign will give us negative product, like in the third and the fourth rule. Okay, this was a basic rule of sign. These rules are again applicable for addition and subtraction. I'll tell you, because there is a little bit change over there. So before that, we'll be talking about the most important topic of today's class, that is classification of numbers. The next topic is classification of numbers. Once again, I would like to tell you that this is again a basic class where we'll be not talking about the question, we'll be talking about the general topic from the numbers. Okay, so there are two types of numbers. Whenever we talk, there are two types of numbers. One is the real number, and the second one is imaginary number. So what is important from among these two is, for us, is the real number. Only real number. You have to know what is real number. Okay, and what are its different classification and on. So whenever we talk about the real number, these are basically the numbers that can be represented on the number line, we can say. Okay, so there are two types of the real numbers. One is the rational number. Please make a note of it. And second one is irrational number. Rational number and irrational number. There are two types of numbers. One is imaginary and the second one is real number. Okay, so imaginary number is not important exam point of view. For us, what is important? Real number. So real number are categorized into two types. One is rational number and the another one is irrational number. So what is difference between the rational number and irrational number? A number which can be expressed in the form of P by Q is called as rational number. The number which can be expressed in the form of P by Q. For example, if I tell you over here, for rational number, example, 4 is rational number. 4 is a rational number. Why? Because it can be written in the form of 4 by 1. That is in the form of P by Q, where the value of P is 4, where the value of Q is 1. So 4 is a rational number, and over here 4 and 1 are integers. 4 and 1 are said to be integers. 4 and 1 are called integers. Again, this can be represented on the number line. Okay, so what are rational number? Whenever we talk about rational number, what is rational number? Rational numbers are the numbers that can be represented in the form of, or can be expressed in the form of P by Q form. This is the form. Okay, so if we take the example, 4 is the rational number. Why? Because it can be expressed in the form of 4 by 1. ठीक है. So here one thing that you have to remember is numbers like 3 by 4, minus 2 by 5. These are also some of the examples of rational number. These are the example of rational number which can be represented in the form of fraction. You have to understand that. Okay. Next is some more examples I would like to take again from the rational number. Please remember, we were talking about, again I would like to repeat this point. We were talking about what? Numbers. Numbers are classified into two types, imaginary and real number. In real number, there are two categories, rational and irrational. Whenever we are talking about the rational number, it means a number that can be represented or expressed in the form of P by Q. I have given you few examples like 4 is rational number, 3 by 4, minus 2 by 5. Some more examples I would like to give from rational number again. Okay. A recurring decimal is a number in which one or more digit is, or we can say, just let me tell you, in rational number also there are recurring decimal. What does it mean? That recurring decimal numbers, what does recurring decimal numbers means? I'll tell you first that, but before that I would like to tell that in case of rational numbers, recurring decimal numbers are also examples of rational number. Recurring decimal numbers are also the example of rational numbers. Like example 0.333, 0.11111, 0. For example 1666666, etc. What does recurring means? Repeated numbers. Recurring, it means repeated numbers. Like here in the first example, after 0.3333 is repeating, right? So this is called as recurring decimal number. Similarly, in case of second example, after 0.11111 is repeating, okay? And this particular repeating has no end. This is endless repeating or endless recurring numbers. This is endlessly repeated, which has no end basically. Okay, so such numbers, any recurring decimal numbers, are also the examples of rational number. Okay, so once again, this can be again represented in the form of P by Q. I can write this 0.333 upon 1. Similarly, I can write this 0.111111 upon 1. So this can be represented in the form of P by Q. Endlessly repeated recurring decimal number again are example of rational number. I hope you have got this. Okay. So once again, I'd like to repeat all about the rational number. We were talking about the numbers. Numbers are divided into two categories. One is the real number and the other one is imaginary. In case of real number, we have divided it again into two forms. First one was rational number and the other one was irrational. Till now we were talking only about the rational number. In case of rational number, we told that this can be represented in the form of P by Q. I gave you various examples over here, like 4 is a rational number, 2 by 3 is rational number, 3 by 4 is rational number, minus 3 by 4 is also a rational number, minus 2 by 5 is also a rational number, because this can be represented in the form of P by Q. Other than this, we have studied that recurring decimals are also example of rational numbers. Okay, examples like 0.444, 0.33333. okay, these are actually endless repeating digits. Okay, so this was few examples of the rational numbers. I hope you have cleared the concept of rational numbers. If you have any kind of doubt, you can let me know in the comment section. Let's move on to the next point, that is irrational numbers. Irrational numbers, the second type, irrational numbers. Okay, so whenever I'm teaching you, what you have to do is first understand and then make short notes of it. Okay, so that it will be helpful for your further study. Now it is irrational numbers, numbers which are not rational or irrational simply, but which can be represented by points on the number line are called as irrational. For example, if I'd like to tell you the value of under root 2, the value of under root 3, the value or the cube root of 9, for example. Okay, numbers like value of pi. Okay, these all numbers are irrational. These are irrational numbers. Okay, so in case of rational number, we were seeing that recurring decimals were the examples where there were endless repeated number. The numbers having no end were repeating 0.33333. There was no end for that. But in case of rational number, you have to understand there is end. There is end, and there are non-recurring digits, that is non-repeated digits are found over here. In case of rational numbers, we were seeing there were repeated digits like 0.444, 0.3333. There was no end, but here there is end and no repeated digits, no repeated digits. So this is the basic fine difference between the irrational number and rational number. Okay, so I'll giving you now two important points over here to understand the difference between the rational and irrational. Please make a note of it. Terminating decimals and recurring decimals are both rational numbers. They can both be rational numbers. In case of rational numbers, you can find the recurring digits, recurring decimals and terminating decimals as well. But in case of irrational numbers, any non-terminating, non-recurring, that is not repeating the same numbers, non-recurring decimal is an irrational number. So you have to understand these 2 points. These 2 points are very much important. Even if you remember these 2 particular points, you will be able to understand the complete relation between the rational and irrational. Okay, so make a note of these 2 points and just go through these 2 points each and every day. So just to understand it, this is very much important. Okay, please make a note of it. I'm highlighting this over here. So this was all about the rational and irrational numbers. Now let's move on to the next terminology of the numbers, that is integers. So what are integers? All integers are rational number. Always remember, all the integers are rational numbers. All integers are rational numbers. Okay, so integers are classified into negative integers, 0 and positive integers. So basically positive integers can be classified again further. I'll tell you that. So you have to remember over here that integers, it can be positive, it can be negative, at the same time they can be 0 as well. Okay, these are the 3 categorization over here. Okay, so integers are rational numbers. Integers can be positive, they can be negative, they can be 0 at the same time. Okay, so in case of positive integers, the examples are prime numbers and composite numbers. Okay, so what are prime, what are composite, I'll tell you further. And okay, let's discuss that again. So this was all about integers that I have told you over here. Integers, all the integers, basically these are the rational numbers. Integers can be classified into 3 categories: positive, negative and 0. So positive integer examples are prime and composite numbers. Now let us discuss what is prime and what is composite in detail. So yes, moving on to the next term, that is prime numbers. Again, this class is completely dedicated for the students who are like weak in mathematics or who don't have any idea regarding any kind of number. Okay, So any number other than 1, okay, 1 is exception for this. Any number other than 1 which do not have or which does not have any factor, any which does not have any factor apart from 1 and itself is called prime number. This was just a definition. I'll explain you what it is talking about. Okay, any number other than 1 which does not have any factor apart from 1 and itself. This line is very much important. Apart from 1 and itself. On this particular statement, lots of questions will be asked in your paper 1. Okay, this concept is going to be very much important because questions can be directly asked. In your examination based upon this. Okay, so simply for giving you the detailed explanation of this above line is consider few examples, like for example 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like consider these particular numbers. If we look at 2 is a number which comes in the table of 1, which comes in the table of 2. Similarly 3 comes in the table of 1, in table of 3. 4 comes in the table of 1, 2, 4. Right? Or apart from these 3 numbers, it is not going to come in the table of any number. Similarly 5 will come in the table of 1 and 5. 6 comes in the table of 1, 2, 3 and 6. 7 comes in the table of 1 and 7. 8 comes in the table of 1, 2, 4 and 8. So based upon this I can tell that the number 2 is having 2 factors, that is 1 and 2. Number 3 is having 2 factors, that is 1 and 3. Number 4 is having 3 factors, 1, 2 and 4. Number 5 is having 2 factors, 1 and 5. Number 6 is having 4 factors, 1, 2, 3 and 6. 7 is having again 2 factors, 1 and 7. 8 is having 1, 2, 4, 8, that is 4 numbers as the factors. So whenever you find any number having only 2 factors, these are called as prime numbers. So from these above examples we can conclude that 2 is having only 2 factors. Okay, 2 is having only 2 factors. 3 is having only 2 factors. 5 is having only 2 factors. 7 is having only 2 factors. And if we look at the factors carefully, each factors of this number is 1, 1, 1, 1, and the other number is the number itself, that is 2, 3, 5, 7. Apart from 1 and the number itself, the number is having no factor. So these numbers are called as prime numbers. I hope you have got the concept. So based upon this concept, the question that has been asked in your previous year question paper was the only prime number which is even. This was the question asked in your examination from your previous question papers, I am telling you. So 2 is the only even number that is prime number. Okay, so yes, I have taken a previous year question as well, and based upon the prime numbers, question will be asked directly a lot from your examination. So I'll be taking this concept detail and the questions in the next lecture. Along with that, I'll be talking about the composite numbers as well, what are the perfect numbers, what are the even and odd numbers. Other than that, we'll be talking about the hierarchy of the arithmetic operations as well, and the recurring decimals in detail. What are integers, what are the properties of divisions, what are the factors, multiples and co-prime numbers, what are the divisibility tests. I'll be dealing with each and every concept in detail. Excluding that, what are the factors and co-prime of a numbers. Okay, number of ways expressing a given number as a product of two factors, sum of all the factors of a number, product of all the factors of the number. Each and everything from the number chapter will be discussed in detail. Excluding that, we'll be talking about the LCM by factorization, by division method, LCM and HCF models like HCF by factorization and long division method. Okay, so I'll be discussing various models, and this is going to help you a lot in your upcoming examination of the CTET December 2023. Each and everything will be discussed in detail. Okay, so this was the end of today's lecture. Thank you for joining, and if you're liking the video, please hit the like button, because this is going to boost your confidence a lot, and we'll be uploading more such videos for you guys in detail. Okay, thank you for joining the session. Have a great day everyone. Bye.